All right, we are speaking now with legendary, iconic Jamaican footballer Allan Skill Cole as we continue our Memories Legends series here on Memories Hometown Radio. So, first of all, I want to say greetings and salutations to the man himself, Allan.
Greetings also. Glad to be here, glad to hear you, glad to be part of this program.
Indeed. So, Allan, in this series, we want to go way back. So, why you take us back to your childhood days? I mean, your earliest recollection as a child growing up.
When I grew up in Central Kingston, really, in 1950s, that was Fleet Street. So that's where I grew up like a boy. So that time, it was considered like a seaport in those early days. Below us, like 100 yards below, was the sea, Tower Street. Then you had Water Lane, and then you had Harbour Street, and then you had the sea. It was really a fishing era. So I grew up in that era, like a boy, in the 50s. And of course, people who were part of that era, who lived in that era especially, were all good swimmers. Because I said this was pure beaches and things like that. So fortunately, I learned to swim very early. And my father was a avid sport fan, a disciplinarian. So it all started like a boy at a tender age. I was brought up to understand and was taught in all aspects of life what it meant and what it was to, whatever you want to do, you can do, but you have to have the discipline. So that was one of the things that I grew up with, as my father instilled those type of principles. So that's where it all started.
All right, so Fleet Street. So all of your early childhood recollection is Fleet Street. Anywhere else?
Earlier, yes, I said I grew up there until I was about 10. So I went to Older Family, and then I went to Alpha Infant School, then Alpha Junior School at South Cambodia, and the family took us scholarship and went to Kingston College. So as I said, my memory, I started, what do you call it now, remembering things from like the age of 5.
Yes.
So my father used to carry me out to the ball field and especially on Saturdays. I used to kick the ball with my left foot, and he used to make me kick with the left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, right foot. Repeated as a little ball. So I had, of course, cricket. We played cricket and things like that. My father was more a cricket fan, but as I say, he was what you call it now, relevant in all sporting disciplines. He knew all the different, who were the top players or whatever in the different disciplines. So I was, as I said, as a youngster, I was taught about my sporting heroes and about my.
Who were your sporting heroes at that time? Who were the sporting heroes you thought about?
No, my father, when I was a little boy, my father taught, used to tell me about the Herb McKinley, Lang, Roden, those people, the Helsinki people, and of course, then George Headley, and those early Kid Silver boxers and all those people. My father, and all of those early sporting, what you call it, greats.
Right.
So I was, as I say, I was well tuned as a youngster. And I knew all the sporting figures as a youngster. I used to pay special attention. And of course, on the other side too, my father was a man who believed in education. So he always pointed out to the road scholars, the early road scholars, and people like Mansi. He used to talk about people like Mansi, Gertson, Wilson, and all those early educators, those brilliant people, and things like that, Of course, he would tell you about Manley as a road scholar, as a athlete, and things like that. So, I was tuned in as a youngster because my father was a man who read a lot. So he was responsible for my upcoming, especially as a turned out to be a sporting,
Yeah.
what you call it now, a top sporting person in the country and things like that. So
Yeah.
I
All
was
right.
groomed early.
Yeah, groomed early. So you remember the first the ball you spoke about the ball field. Which ball field that he usually take you?
My father used to work with government printing office in the early days. And after that, so they had government printing office at a club by the name of Coxon Park, where Santos now homegrown. In the early days, there was no Coxon Park. Government printing office club at that, in those days. So in the 50s, my father was, as I said, he was also, I think, treasurer for the club, this government printing office, cricket club and whatever they had. So I used to go up here on a Saturdays mostly, Saturday evening, they used to beat the ball, and he used to throw the ball at me and, tell me to use my right, teach me to kick my right foot and my left foot. So as I said, that was in the early 50s. And of course then I would get a cricket bat and learn to bat and things like that. He used to play catch a show and all those things. And so, I can remember those early days.
Yeah. So Caxton Park, I mean, right at the corner of Miriam Road and South Camp Road. So there's where you started to hone your skills as a footballer very early.
Well, as I said, I grasped that, I overcame that, overcome that psychological, what you call it now, what you would call it now, I think it's a psychological disadvantage. Because when you see youngsters coming up in the early days, what they do is that they play. If you see them, even though a youngster, he play mostly on his right side, or he probably play on his left side, because of how he was brought up. So, for instance, he's a right-hander. So, for instance, he's a right-hander, and he uses his right side mostly. So, when it gets to his left side, it's a psychological thing. So, as I said, as a youngster, my father would put it to me. You have to kick it to the right foot first, then the left foot, then the right foot, then the left foot. And you kick it back to you to control your right foot, and you kick it on your left side. So you have to use the right just as you use the left. You couldn't use right twice, and then you use the other one. So that sort of helped to overcome that, what you call it. As I later on in life, I understand it was a psychological disadvantage. So I learned to master using both my both what do you call it now? My both foot what do you call it now? Efficiently. So I grew up as a youngster now, didn't have a problem using my left, nor my right. So that was a big plus. And it started to carry me through through my career. So that is where that type of training started. And of course, my father used to teach me to juggle lime as a little boy. He used to teach me to juggle. So I used to juggle limes, juggling.
Oh, okay.
So I used to juggle, when I was like 10 years old, I used to juggle 2 limes, and then I started juggling 3 limes. My father used to teach me to juggle. So it started to coordination. So I had that type of rhythm and coordination. Learned to juggle 2, then I would start doing 3. But when I was 10 years, I was able to juggle 3 limes, and I was at the market so that I was able to juggle eggs, and it couldn't drop. And at the same time, my father taught me to skip. So people used to wonder why I had all those type of foot movements. So I learned to skip from a tender age. My father teach me to skip. My father's a boxing fan. He used to do a little boxing. So he could skip. He was a beautiful skipper. So I learned to skip at a tender age. So I had that rhythm. So if you see me skip, you think I was a professional boxer, but because all of those things start to help to put things together. So the skipping, the juggling helped with rhythm and the coordination. And of course, if you notice, the footworks were special. Right. And and that's one of the problems that we have today with some of our footballers in world football. You can look at the players, and you can depict who has good foot movements. And it's all about rhythm and coordination. So I was blessed to have been able to master and all of these things injected into my lifestyle then. So I didn't have no problem when it come on to balance and coordination. People say, and ask me, you make it look so simple because it make it look easy. It was because of the coordination and the balance. So as I said, that was where the foundation was laid and laid, and that is what was to me the most memorable moments, because that was a unusual and solid foundation. See if you understand what I'm trying to say to you.
Yes, man. Yes.
So you know.
All right. So naturally, now there would be a natural progression to like a first team, the first competitive team that you would have played for.
Well, you know what happened now? After we moved from Fleet Street in 1959-60, I came to upper part of Central Kingston, Emerald Road, then Franklin Town. So my really first team was playing with me and myself in Franklin Town, me and Chicken Mason, Arthur Williams, all those guys from Franklin Town, all of us, Roy Black, probably a real personality, a lot of us. Youngsters over there. So we had a little team over there now. And we used to go and play team from other eras. So we as youngsters, one time we used to call I said Tottenham Hotspurs. Yeah, because of that, that was the 50s. These are Danny Bladshall and the early 60s and things. So to be frank, that was the first team I knew about, playing with them guys in Franklin Town and them way. Apart from me going to school and things like that. But that was really a team that we used to go out and play, and you know the competitiveness that was there because we had so much talent in that era, the Franklin Town, Vineyard era. We used to play over Hannah Sons, same Coxon Park, and we used to play over where the school is now, Konkrete. So we had three fields. You understand? You had Hannah Sons, you had where it was next door beside where the house of Jody, they used to call it Club of Leaf. And then after a while it becomes NVOs. And we had over there what they call telephone company, Anderson. So we used to play over those areas. So that type of competitiveness, seeing people like Chicken Mason was a little youngster when I met and started playing with as a youngster. He was a young, the players in my era as a little boy, who I watched and learned a lot from. He was a little special, little gem in that period. You probably know of him, Chicken Mason. So very short and things like that. So with all those type of and other players we had on the years, you know, people, I mean, lot of young talent. So I think there was where I started to learn. Apart from that, I used to go to watch all these football. I used to watch the Division Ones and all the early players. You know, apart from that, but playing and getting to get competitive. You know, that part of my history was really, I was really glad to be a part of those guys, entourage. You know, all of us in Franklin Town and Albert Street, up in the area, the club and things like that. All, I mean, so many players. You know what I'm saying? So there was, I think, that was really a very important part of my what you call it, my coming up as a young footballer, and playing teams. Because there we played the Boys Brigade, we entered Boys Brigade, and we were Franklin Town, and we won the All Ireland. It was 1963. With Roy Black, Chicken Mason, Arthur, Bobby Reyes, a lot of Arthur Carr. Arthur Carr, his brother Osman Carr, who was leading goal scoring in Manning Cup 1964 and things like that. So, you know, I had some, you know, as I say, coming up with meeting and getting involved with those players helped me a lot in my early development.
All right, so that competitive team, so you now would be going into the teenage years. You mentioned you got a scholarship.
13, 12.
Scholarship.
Okay, so here now, then to the Franklin Town things and play and things, I used to play a team from down in Vauxhall area. Chunkford's a team over there in Vauxhall with Denny Campbell and Mudman and Michael Levy and all those. Later all of us became Santos. So we used to play against each other. And it was very competitive. When we went to Vauxhall and played, it was crowded. Our team from Franklin Town and things like that. So after that, evolved Santos. came together with Chung Fa, and so Santos became now the first really, what do you call it now, organized institution in that period for us, and gave us that opportunity. So Santos now was the really the what do you call it, the catalyst.
Yeah, the launching.
Yeah, for really my my coming to prominence of football, because I mean playing Santos with Santos, started playing the under 15, played Division 2, the youngster. Chung Fa put us there as youngster with talent, so we could what do you call it now, prepare us for the future. So Santos, and after Santos evolved as the top team, so it was really at Santos, and because of people like Winston who gave us the opportunity, who believe in us, who believe that youngsters with talent should be given the opportunity to develop.
So Chung Fa was really instrumental at that very early stage of your development.
But yes, you have to give him a lot of credit for that.
Apart from your father
coming up. Chung Fa, you have to give him a lot of credit, because with he given me the opportunity to play with the big boys them as a youngster, playing Division 3, Division 2, sort of helped me to overcome a lot of things in the latter part that youngsters who didn't go through that type of experience would have a little problem to overcome, because going out there and playing with the big boys about tender age, to understand the whole dynamics of the game. Right. So I mean Santos was really where it started to inject that type of ego to get there, to play with the big boys and to dominate.
All right, so you moved to Kingston College.
Yeah. Played coach at KC the first year, I was first farmer. 1962. I was the only first farmer who played made the coach team. So I started to demonstrate as a youngster. Road started get around as usual. So it was that sort of helped to, what you call it now, get my name on the lips of people in this college football as a youngster playing Colts and things like that. So
you won?
First year we lose the final to Georgia. We won the next year. But it was a famous team. We had a famous team, a good team. A team that attracted a lot of people, especially at school. When the Colts team played in that period of time, it attracted so many people. People didn't leave school and we were playing at home, It was a crack team that people talk about for years, So Kingston College, Santos, left Kingston College, and then I went to Clarendon Campion College, 1964. Spent a year and a half at Campion College. Then I went to View Technical, 1965. After we played minor league, we played minor for Campbelltown and things like that.
Campbelltown did. Campbelltown did.
We lost the final to Boystown, 1965. That's the last year. Well, that was the start of a new era. Right after that, I went to View Technical and explored that year.
Right. So the Veer year, you won Colts at KC. You spent a year at Campion. Now it was a year and a half. Yeah. So it was unknown to that famous Veer dynasty, early Veer dynasty. Talk to us about that.
Well, as you recall, it was something that sometimes you're part of history, and you're there because apparently who designed the creation, it must have been a part of it, because prior to that, no team had won outside of Cornwall and Monroe, the Costa Cup.
Yeah.
So when we won in '65, it was the beginning of a new era. So that was a part of history. So '65 was the beginning of a dynasty, and Priya became a household name after 1965, not because of track and field, but because of football.
Yes, the early Veer was football.
Yeah, well, track and field was there, and we did well, but what really brought the school to the forefront was football, 65, 66, going right down until that dynasty. So.
Followed by cricket.
Yeah, and cricket too. Yeah. And of course, the netballers did well, and the track and field The girls them did well, and we had some good athletes. We had some very good schoolboy leagues there, too, you know.
Ben Francis,
Great.
great inspiration, I would think, eh?
Yeah, great. But that was one of the modernizer for what do you call it? Inter school sports. One of the great men that would pass through there, you know.
Yeah, man. So, at Veer, there was a lot of successes. Talk to us about them.
Well, you know, but a coach named Derek Tompkins, who was a man who...
JC farmer coach.
Farmer coach, yeah. I did distinction of being the first coach to win both Oliver Shield, Manning Cup, and the Castor Cup. An Englishman who prepared the team better than any man in his time. Prepared schoolboy teams to outlast any other team. You know, our physical program at that period of time was sort of limited in terms of, I won't say technical, but what we knew and how we perceived the game at that time. Him coming out of a first world country where football was the sport, he was a little bit more advanced in his what you call it, in his thinking, maybe in terms of his thinking. So his teams were well prepared to outlast. He did to outlast any teams. He did at JC. He took inferior teams and won Manning Cup, beat the talented teams, because the talented teams couldn't endure for the total duration, and he was able to bring the teams, as I said, less talented, who could run for the whole duration of the game and beat you. As Sam did to JC and did when he beat St. George's College in 61, 62, 60s. And he did the same thing everywhere he went, and he did the same thing at Veer Technical too.
And at Veer now he had the talent.
Well, he had a little talent, but what happened is that what he put to our game was what you call it, endurance.
Yeah.
And we were able to run and execute easy without, you know.
So you remember your victories? Your victories?
Yeah, man. I still remember them in schoolboys.
Yeah, man.
I remember them.
Victories, yeah.
Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, man. Years.
65 we beat Cornwall in the finals at Montego Bay. 66 we beat Cornwall again and won the 67. I mean, I won the Castor Cup. And the first time we win Oliver Shield was 67 too. I didn't play too much schoolboy football. I only played 2 seasons of schoolboy football. Oh. So I left schoolboy football.
You won the 2 years?
Yeah, well, we won 65, but we didn't win the Oliver Shield. KC beat the Oliver Shield. But as I said, I only played 2 years of schoolboy football.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I only played 2 years. So I left schoolboy football very early.
Yes,
so
because one of the things now is that you made a national team very young, very early. Tell me about that time.
Well, I was 65 after emerged as one of the top schoolboy footballers. He was a coach by the name of George Penn, a Brazilian. And we were invited on the Jamaica squad there. And my first game was about in January. A Brazilian team was coming to Jamaica. For about a year on the Jamaica national team. In those days when the Brazilian team came in the region, Latin America, Caribbean, and all those places, they usually play national teams. So that's how I got my game as a youngster. I was really a reserve. For when the 18 were selected, I was really a reserve.
Yeah.
What happened in the final training session, the man got hurt. Ascalbach got hurt, and I got the game. And after that, history.
Yeah, so you made your national debut
as a 15-year-old.
As a 15?
Yeah.
15?
Yeah, 15-year-old.
Oh. Wow. So that is kind of unheard of.
Well, I don't think it has been
replicated.
Yeah, I don't think that has been done. You're about 17 and all them things.
Yeah.
I don't think that has been done.
Yeah.
So,
and that was which team that again? You played first?
We played against America, one name Atletico Portuguese and one name another team was the name America FC. Both of them came out of area. When I went to Brazil, I got more knowledge of the team. And then in '66 now, July, we went to Central American Games in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Central American Games. The youngest man to play on a football team in such sports. 15 years, I was 7 months, I think. So it was July. It started in July. And in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We played against Mexico. That's my first international, real international, as a national player.
All right. Speaking with Allan Skill Cole, part one of a very interesting interaction. Speaking about the early life of legendary one himself, Allan Skill Cole. Part one. Stay tuned for part two.